This house was built in the 1700s. The little village it is in, it's more of a hamlet, so there's just a collection of houses, a manor house, a farmhouse, and then this house was originally 2 workmen's cottages. About 25 years ago it was turned into one house, but it's very, very obvious still that it was 2 cottages because we have 2 front doors, exactly the same. And when you come inside, and you'll see, it has 2 staircases that meet at the middle that are identical, and 2 fireplaces that are identical. It's in the traditional thatch, and it's listed, our house, so we can't ever change that, which is wonderful, and it's cozy and it's cool in the summer. It's got thick walls and it's got a feeling of its age about it, which makes it really magical. This is our sitting room, and it is the sort of coziest room of the house, I think. And we all squeeze in here, there's 6 of us, so it's quite a squish, but that kind of makes it cozier. The kind of heart of the house is the 2 fireplaces, and this would have been an open fire, and it's got the old bread oven, which when the chimney was open you would have been able to bake in, and I love it so much. But the wood burner is much more efficient, and we need it for those winter nights here. These willow baskets are willow urns actually, and we use these a lot with our flowers. We have them in all different sizes. I love willow so much. I love the smooth texture of it, and I love the smell, and we also sell these, and they now are sort of going all around the world, which is so wonderful because they're so beautiful, and there's something sort of honest about them, and I love that about willow. We have always sort of tried to rescue and help animals, and my son Alfie especially is really, and Wilf actually, they're real naturalists. They love, and I found this young barn owl when I was working once, and unfortunately he'd been hit by a car and he was brain damaged, and we managed to look after him for quite a few weeks, but he didn't make it. But because he was so beautiful and so perfect, and I'm not really a fan of taxidermy on the whole, but none of us could really bear to just see him disappear. So that is why we have this beautiful barn owl who sort of watches over us all. We've got loads of different fabrics and textiles here. I think sofas are a great way to just kind of like go for it. And this is a piece of antique fabric made into a cushion that was given to me by my friend Henrietta, who's got a very brilliant interior design company called VSP Interiors, and she very kindly gave me this because I did some flowers for the launch of one of her new collections. So that's really special to me. And this is a cushion, another gift from my very dear friend Nora, who's got a wonderful, you'll see many of her pieces around this house, a wonderful homeware company called, now it's a Finnish name, a company name, so I will probably pronounce it wrong, so apologies to all the Finns out there, but it is Projekti Tunni, I think. So she has the most wonderful fabrics and textiles, and that was a very kind gift as well. The most important thing about this room, other than the fireplace, is the ceiling. The ceilings are really low. It's got these wonderful beams, and my brother-in-law actually has to sort of duck as he walks through this room under the beams. But when I asked the children what I should do in here, they said, well, Mummy, we love it when the swallows return and the house martins return. Maybe you could do some birds on the ceiling. So on the ceiling, we've painted the house martins returning, and they just scatter across the ceiling. And I sat here in the evenings just doing it, and it was a really lovely little thing and fun for the children, who probably notice them the most when they look up, sitting down playing their games. This is a photograph of the Palio in Siena, which is really special because it arrived from New York from my clients who are now my friends when I did their wedding in Siena earlier this year. We bonded massively over the Palio, which I have never seen, but I hope to one day. And so they sent me this beautiful photograph that she took, and I will treasure it forever. It's so full of life and it's so wonderful. And this was also a present from a friend who was also a client, and it's a print from of Picasso's, and I just love it. The horses everywhere. This is a little children's rocking chair that they all fight over sitting in, that was made by my great grandpa. So it's really special. And again, the feeling like it's those special things that really have history. And this is very special too, because it was Fred's grandfather's ashtray and is used now as mainly a weapon by my children. It's also had a parrot strapped to it. So it's just a rather lovely bit of nostalgia. If you come in here, this is the room that was boot room and utility room, and it was blocked off, and then there was a little funny corridor here, and we've made it now. At the moment, it is my little girl's playroom, because she is very little, but with the 3 boys who are mad about Lego, I have to be very careful with separating Hebe from the Lego. I painted this mural, heavily advised by the children on what we should do, and it's sort of just it's about where we live, sort of based on the rolling hills of West Dorset. We've got our little house here. It's all slightly surreal, and we've played with the scale a bit to make it feel more fun. So here's our little house with the 2 chimneys going, and we've got hares, which we see every day here up on the hill behind our house. There are hares, and they're almost friends now. It's really wonderful. A dragon, because I have always said to the children that nobody realises, they think I'm their mummy, but really I'm their pet dragon. So we have a dragon. What else have we got here? We've got a woodpecker. We've got the doves, which are very much a part of our home. We've got a little cheeky snail there. We've got moths, which are also a big part of I love moths. My son Wilf loves moths. They're part of our logo for our flower company, and so there are various moths around the house. We've got another one there, and then we've got the ponies somewhere here, and we've got this cheeky, wily fox just here, ready to head off. And then this is our wonderful rocking horse, Merrylegs, who is, where before we actually had real horses, he was as close as I could get to a real horse, and a very kind present, a gift to my son Alfie from his godmother for his christening, and a very treasured boy who will be in our, I hope, passed down through the generations. My wonderful grandpa, who was a diplomat, gave me this rug, which is from Iran, where he was the British ambassador. And he gave Fred and I this as our wedding present, and one of my most treasured possessions. And I have it right in the middle, so I walk past and walk through and walk over it every day, and I really love it. And I hope one day one of the children will take care of it too. This is Pantoufla. I don't know if anyone knows remembers the book Chocolat, and there's a film called Chocolat. People have said that I remind them of the mother because she travels with the wind and she likes chocolate. So the little girl in the book has a make-believe wallaby called Pantoufla. And so when I met Pantoufla, this one, she was just made me think of her. So this is Pantoufla, and there is another one, Bridie, somewhere, who I'm sure you'll meet in a minute. When we first came here, it was a second home. The people who owned it, lovely family, used it as their holiday home. And so it definitely felt like that. It felt like it needed to have life put back into it, because it was 2 cottages and various people have lived in both halves. It was slightly strangely pieced together. Some areas were kept very, very much like it would have been, with the beams out and the original floors, and then some areas were almost unrecognisable with plasterboard on the ceilings, and the bathroom was very modern. So what we have done is, in the kitchen, we sort of took it back in a way. We removed the plasterboard from the ceiling to reveal the beams again. We took away a lot of the kitchen cupboards and units and sort of simplified the whole the whole place. The Aga was there, and originally where the Aga is in the open fireplace, which would have been a fire, and next to it is a bread oven. Unfortunately, the flue is now used by the Aga, and so we can't use the bread oven, which is a real pity, but maybe one day we will have an open fire again and I'll be able to cook bread in the bread oven, and I will give you a glimpse of that. And then we rearranged some of the rooms because I've got a big family. We have 4 children, 3 of them are boys and then a little girl, and they're wild and they have come with lots of wellies and lots of balls and cricket bats, and we the house originally laid out had a very, very small boot room and utility room, and we felt that it's a really hard working room in our house, so we turned one of the other rooms into the boot room, and we made the little utility boot room into a sort of playroom, walk through, can be a dining room, and which has really made sense and given us this back room, which is actually really, really useful, but also just a great space to have. And I think anyone with a big family will understand that you need that space. But I have to say that it will always change, this house, because I can't sit still, and I'm constantly painting something new or changing something, or the children grow up and they want something different. So this house will be ever evolving and never quite finished. And I think that's kind of the joy in having a home.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.